What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Immortal X-Men issue number 9. And I am telling you guys, Immortal X-Men is so good right now. Along with X-Men Red, these two stories have been absolutely phenomenal. I think one of the reasons I love them so much is because it is truly pushing the plot forward. It is moving all of Krakoa into the future. And at this point, we all know that Sinister has the Moira clones. He can use these clones at any time he wants to reset the timeline, downloading all the information from the previous timeline. He has essentially turned himself into Moira. He is doing this all so that he can come out on top. Every single time, that is his goal. His goal today, it is to kill the Quiet Council. Now, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you like this video. And with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, so as we pick up with this issue, we are getting tons of narration from Kitty Pryde. Just another normal day on Krakoa. Judgment Day has passed. Charles Xavier still not talking about Eric. No one having any idea why Nightcrawler has grown horns. But as everybody sits around the table, things on Arakko are going very well. The treaty with the Eternals, alliances, reparations, all of this is being had. While Magneto's death is very tragic for them, it seems to have convinced all of Arakko of their sincerity. And the Iraqi people, they are starting to recognize that maybe resurrection isn't all bad. Maybe death doesn't have to be the end. Now, of course, Exodus has been very opposed to the idea that humans are getting the immortality, saying that it is an abomination. This is when Kitty Pryde stands up and lets him know that the Phoenix Foundation is a good thing. It costs a small fraction of their resurrection given to a charity body to distribute to those that really need it. Kids in a coma, kids after car crashes, landmine injuries. At the end of the day, they are helping children. This is going to win the hearts and minds. And if none of that is good enough for you, take it from a more perverse aspect. The rich and powerful, they don't get the immortality. It is going to the poor, the desperate, the needy. It's really sticking it to the man. That is even when Hope, she chimes in, saying that even Jesus Christ shared his miracles with the lowly. Exodus a little upset, letting her know that he didn't share his theology so that it could be used against him. Everybody has a good old laugh. At that moment, she truly thought that maybe this Quiet Council could actually work. A mixture of monsters, saints, and everything in between. They have been through hell, but they are all mutants. They are all fighting together. But that is when Sinister walks into the room as he goes to sit down because they are getting ready to talk about Dr. Stasis. We know that there are 4 versions of Sinister out in the world, one of them being Dr. Stasis. Of course, we're gonna have Sinister saying that he is nothing more than an imposter. That is when Destiny calls out to Exodus, letting him know that Nathaniel is about to kill Hope. Before he can even get his gun out, Exodus, he wishes his hand over and we see Sinister explode into pieces. Now, for most of the Quiet Council, this is no surprise. Even Sebastian Shaw had a running book on how long it would be before Sinister betrayed the council. Sinister has always been dumb, but Kitty Pryde can't help but ask, what is going on? This is the first death. Taking us to a little bit earlier, we have a conversation between Sinister and Destiny. Sinister is a little bit upset that he hadn't been judged by the god, the celestial that came to judge them, the progenitor. He judged everybody except for Nathaniel. This is when Destiny, she brings up the fact that maybe he is not the Nathaniel that got judged. Maybe, just maybe, it was Dr. Stasis who was judged. Heading back to his laboratory, that is when he has had enough. He has learned a lot, but this stasis problem, he believes, needs a permanent solution. He believes that they go back before Magneto left, back to Moira 5, to take a longer run-up, thinking maybe that he goes back all the way to Moira 1, because what he has here are multiple different Moiras, each of them representing a different time and space. The problem is, he really doesn't want to go through Judgment Day again, with the progenitor having the power to stop him from using his engine. He also feels particularly judged by not being judged. He tells his system to prepare 2 more Moiras. Now, he's been splicing up Moira so much at this point that the genes are looking relatively bad. He is pushing it to its absolute limit, leaving Moira 7 off to the side. Pure science would say that cloning, they could do this indefinitely. Sadly, mutant science is much more complicated. Sophisticated gifts are very tricky. Now, things like wings, eye blasts, all of those he can churn out forever, but collapsing realities to reset the timeline, every clone copy is causing more strain, and so this means it won't last forever. Any individual clone will give him 10 deaths at best, and so now he has 10 shots to try to murder the Quiet Council, activating Moira 6, activating the X gene, saving his point, restoring it, going to download any information. He learns that this is his first attempt at doing this. He is going in blind, he is going in with fresh eyes. Grabbing a gun off the wall, headed to the Quiet Council. That is when Destiny lets Exodus know exactly what is going on. That is his first death with Moira 6. And so he begins to prioritize. Destiny will interfere, believing that there is one way to sidestep that, figuring that he will just drop a bomb on the Quiet Council and wipe them out all in one go. Still, Destiny saw that coming. Nightcrawler teleporting all of them out of there, and then Exodus yet again exploding the head of Sinister, with Kitty Pryde asking yet again what is going on. That is death 2. As we go for try number 3, Sinister walking in there, Mystique grabs hold of him immediately. Destiny yet again letting it be known that Sinister is going to try to kill Mystique and Destiny, and then he was going to make his play for Hope. Now at this point, they thought about maybe taking a peek inside of his head to see what he is doing, what he is up to, but Sinister has fail-safes. If anybody tries to peer inside of his head detonates. Kitty Pryde left again, wondering what is going on. And so we jump to attempt number 4, recognizing that Destiny is just the worst and she throws a wrench into his plan every single time, believing that maybe he can avoid direct confrontation entirely. What if he goes for somebody other than Hope, somebody other than Destiny? She may still give a warning, but it will be late, enough for his plan to actually go into action, using the idea that Destiny had told them at one point in time that they are on the same side. He goes to do his next plan, coming in with battle armor. Hope takes the power of Storm and she electrocutes him. That is death 4, death 5, death 6. Every single time Sinister tries, he fails. Death 7, death 8. At this point, Sinister is losing and he only has one more opportunity. I think this is my favorite part of the comic, because in a vat, what we have is Dark Beast. This is solidifying, or at least hinting towards the fact that the beast that is out there in Krakoa, it is not Dark Beast. Dark Beast is in Sinister's laboratory. He is keeping him captive. Sinister even going out and saying that even if Dark Beast were to be released, he is not the darkest beast any longer. If you have been following the X-Force line, then you are gonna know how impactful this is. And so with his one last shot, he shows up to the Quiet Council, saying that he has been accused of a psychic imprint from Scott. He is going to use this to prove that he is innocent, telling all the telepaths to examine the signature, saying all real psychics, not plagiarists like Hope. He does this because he wants Hope to take the powers of Exodus, to peer into his psychic trap. This is a telepathic bomb. It is a cluster of Xavier brains that he had cloned and turned into a giant psychic bomb. It was a giant stun and a single command. There was a telekinetic pulse, torso height. Everyone dives to the ground except for the telepaths. Hope and Exodus, they are indestructible. Xavier and Emma are not. And that is where we see winged eyeballs shooting lasers from their eyes, causing all kinds of chaos. This is when Sinister goes over to Exodus, using a little bit of Gambit's powers, turning mass into energy. Harry Leland increases mass, taking both those gifts, mixing them together into a murderous communion wafer. This causes Exodus' head to explode, with Hope no longer having his power because he has died. Hope is also not indestructible, and so we see her also expanded and explode. This is him trying to prove that he is nothing like Stasis, that he is Mr. Sinister. He is the original supervillain. That is when we see Sinister bamf out of here just like Nightcrawler would. The quiet council that remains is left in a panic. Without Hope, without her, Resurrection, the Spark, all of it is in danger. They have contingencies that are untested, but they could work. This is when Kitty Pryde begins to realize, saying that she knows what is going on. Someone is about to win Sebastian Shaw's betting pool. Destiny knows where to find Sinister, and so Colossus, Nightcrawler, Kitty Pryde, Sebastian Shaw, Mystique, and Destiny together, they are going to go hunt down Sinister, and they are going to make him pay. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like I said, absolutely phenomenal. Finally getting to see Sinister use the clones. So what he is doing is he is taking Moira 6, his 6th Moira clone, and he clones that 10 times. That is the amount that he is limited to without the genes of Moira going out of whack and causing something just catastrophic. This gives him multiple opportunities to continue trying over and over and over again. This is a reset button for him. Now, on the 10th time, he did it brilliantly, using Charles Xavier's brain, creating a whole mass of them to create a psychic bomb with one command to detonate, taking out all the heavy hitters in one go. This is Sinister really being offended at the existence of Stasis, of all the other individuals that may try to be him. Not only that, he wants absolute power, but it looks like Kitty Pryde has finally caught on to what he is doing. Not sure how, not sure why she is able to do this. I'm sure we're gonna get an explanation in the next comic to explain how she caught on to everything ongoing. It's so awesome to finally see Sinister using these clones to his fullest advantage. I do think my favorite part is finally getting an answer on Dark Beast, because at this whole time we haven't been sure in X-Force if it has been Dark Beast or just Beast going way past what Dark Beast would ever do. We now have a confirmation that Dark Beast is in the laboratory of Sinister, that the Beast we have out there out in the open, operating as if he is CIA for Krakoa. This is just a regular Beast, a Beast that has gone too far, that has done too much, that has surpassed Dark Beast in almost every single way. You know, I've said it over and over again, but man, the X lines have been so freaking good. You know, yesterday I was talking about how DC Comics has just been slacking so much, and I've been so disappointed in the stories that they are telling, to include Dark Crisis. But every single Wednesday, my joy for comics is renewed when I pick up those comics and I read the X-Men lines, especially X-Men Red and Immortal X-Men. These are such good storytelling. Now, I get it if you don't like the Hickman era, if you don't like what mutant kind has become. If you're a fan of, the early 2000s and prior, I get that. But for me personally, this is my favorite era of mutant kind. It has been absolutely phenomenal, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. Because remember, Sinister has the ability to go all the way back to Moira Run, all the way back to the very beginning of Krakoa. He could reset the timeline right here and now. The only problem, he doesn't want to do that. All the work that he has put in, he doesn't want to have to redo. So let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything happening with the X lines, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is gonna get you completely caught up on the entirety of Immortal X-Men and X-Men Red. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.